I'm Kimber, and this is a Colorado girl in Texas. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button, and for more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Today we're making pie crust. It's the easiest thing to make, yet the hardest thing to perfect. So I have found the easiest and simplest way to make a pie crust without screwing it up. So let's get started. So what do we need to make pie crust? It's pretty simple. You need flour, you need really cold butter, you need salt, and you need ice water. I'm using a food processor today. It's ancient. It's from 2008, I think, and it's a cheap food processor. So you don't need like fancy equipment to do this. It's super simple. So use whatever you have. If you have a blender, you could probably use that, but just like easy does it because blender blades are a little sharper than the food processor blades, right? So I have a cool Dollar Tree food scraper that I'm going to use to cut up my butter too. So you'll just need a knife or a food scraper, whatever you have on hand, use it. It's all good. To start, we're going to need our flour, and we're going to just put our flour directly into our food processor. You need 2 1/4 cups of flour. Scoop and swoop. 2 1/4 cups directly into the food processor, as flour goes everywhere. Happens to everyone, I guess, right? And I've got a teaspoon. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt. And here we're going to cut up our butter. The best way to do this is start with super duper cold butter, like out of the fridge. Let me move this out of the way. Directly out of the fridge or directly out of the freezer. You want it to be super duper cold. That way, when you put it into the oven, your butter is still solid and it will melt and create nice little air pockets and nice flaky crust. So we've got really cold butter. We're going to slice our butter down the middle, flip it down the middle again, and into nice little cubes of dreamy goodness. I'm using unsalted butter in this. We've got salts that we added into the flour, so you can use salted or unsalted. If you use salted butter, just know that it has a little bit more water content, so you would probably need to add a little bit less water when you're going to add in your ice water. Okay, got our butter going. Flip, cut. This is why I like to use a food scraper, because it's really easy to cut the butter and it takes a lot less time. This is a super fast recipe. It only takes about, 5 minutes to put together, and then you chill it for 30 minutes and it's ready to go. Or you can put it directly into the freezer when you're done making it for use for any other future time. Okay, so everything's in the food processor. Now we're going to pulse. You just want to pulse until the butter is like broken up and into kind of pea-sized pieces. Here we go. Open it up, check your butter. Mine's still pretty big chunks of butter. We got to keep going a little bit more. Check it. One more. Good to go. We've got really nice flaky butter in our flour, and it's not too much. We still have nice bits of butter. Good to go. Now we're going to add our ice water. Start with tablespoon at a time. You don't want any chunks of ice in your pie crust either, so be careful. I start with let's start with 4. Depending on your climate, where you're at, might need to add a little less, might need to add a little more. We're in Southeast Texas. It's pretty humid here, but it's winter, so it's a little drier. Start pulsing again. Not enough, add some more. Start with 2, maybe 3. Pulse it up. We're close. We're almost got pie crust. We're almost there. It's about to form into a dough. I have a piece of ice in there. Don't do what I say. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. Okay, we got dough. We got dough. Here's our dough. That's it. We're all done. We've got, it's not too wet, it's not too dry. We have really nice, yummy pie crust coming our way. So this recipe is good for 2 crusts. So if you're making like a top and a bottom crust, or you just want to put pie crust into the freezer, you have 2. Just going to put a little flour on this, shape it into a ball. That way when you go to roll it out, it's a little easier. Cut it in half into a little disc again. Okay, we have awesome little discs of dough. We're going to move everything out of our way, wrap it in some plastic wrap, and toss it into the fridge. You can toss it directly into the freezer from here and use it for a later date, like if you're prepping for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or you just want to have pie crust in your fridge or in your freezer for whenever you feel like using it. I like to pull it out of there, thaw it, and make little pie crust cinnamon sugar treats for my kids. They love it. You can put it in the fridge and let it chill for about 30 minutes. Pull it out of the fridge and it's ready to roll out. And that's it. You just made pie crust. So there you go, pie crust. I'm going to go pop these into the fridge. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Let me know how you did making this really cool foolproof recipe. Watch out for my next video where we're going to be making something really cool with pie crust. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.